Welcome into Seahawks Today. I'm your host, Will Ortner, and we are live. Man, oh man, am I excited for this show today. We got a bunch of great viewers hanging out with us in the chat, but most importantly, the Seahawks, right before we went live, got some fantastic freaking news. Riq Woolen, Devin Witherspoon, and Julian Love, they are all coming back to practice today. That is according to head coach Mike McDonald. We're going to get into that, some trade rumors, and so much more. But before we do that, I need to make sure that I shout out some real ones that are hanging out with us down below in the chat. Make sure you go down in there and start spamming 12 right now. I'm doing call-outs, making sure everybody feels involved, feels like they're hanging out with their boys, because that's exactly what we're doing. I see Michelle hanging out in the chat. Tyler, what's going on? The real Victor Jones, how's it going, sir? Archie, what's up? Chris, how you doing? Daniel, what up? Happy Thursday. Archie, Jonathan, good to see you. Love it. Lucas hanging out. That's a great name. Little brother's name is Lucas. Shout out to, I don't even know. There's an N, there's a G, and then there's a Boog. I like J Boog. He's a great artist, great singer. If you like reggae, you should definitely tune into that. NSG Boog. That's a great name. JD Quincy, like a boss, 676. Hey, Tyler, shout out to you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Nolan, what's going on? Good to see everyone. Darius, how you doing? Love giving shout outs. 87 people in the building, hanging out, smashing that like button. Appreciate each and every single one of you. How's it going, Stan? Good to see you. I am Fetty Boy. I don't know what that means. That's a cool name. Anyways, you know what? I've done a poor job of being a host today because I haven't introduced the most important person that is hanging out with us, the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, Producer Reed. How you doing, bud? Good to see you. Hanging out with the 12s on a Thursday, hanging out with Ronald and Tom. Oh, I forgot. I'm really good at introducing the producer before I let them put their mic on. I'm great at it.
I should have it on, but
that's on me, man.
I'm excited. I mean, today's our Friday. So
today is our Friday.
I'm very excited.
It's Friday. Gotta get, and that's where I'm gonna stop because I don't know when I get in trouble for singing. Rod, how's it going? Christopher, good to see you. Donald, Quincy, 97 people hanging out. We went early today, just a little bit early. I do have to get back. I'm going to be back in the great state of Washington for the first time since I left in July. I'm very excited. Get to go hang out. I get to go see Love. Buddy's getting married. We get to see Love. We get to see a marriage happen. Very excited for it. Shout out to the Johnsons. Congratulations to you guys.
Is the wedding in a church or off-site?
No idea. No idea.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I bought plane tickets. I did my job. I think the rehearsal dinner is tonight, and so I think I'm gonna miss it, but I'm gonna catch the after party. So I think I catch the after party where all the cool kids are gonna be, and then tomorrow we're doing some sort of barbecue thing. I don't really know. Look, I'm not a planner. I'm a doer, and I just like to show up and make sure that I get to hang out. Not a funeral, man. Wedding. Love is happening. Oh, are you doing that joke of like this is when this is when the guy's life dies. He's not free anymore. I get that. That's a pretty funny joke there, Chris. Jeff, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Ben Aldridge hanging out. Space Ghost says go Hawks. Yes, joke. Okay, good. We like the family. We like them. They're great. Known them since birth. It's been awesome. So we got a great show coming up for you guys today. First segment that we're going to get into is the game-changing rumors. I think that producer Reed, unfortunately for him, built this show like 5 times. So there was a 8 a.m. version of this show. There was an 11 a.m. version of that show. There was a 3 o'clock version of that show. I mean, I think I was throwing in changes all the way up until we were live.
I built it, and then I left and did something else here at work, and then I came back.
Completely changed.
Additions made to the script. Built that, came back to it later. There's a couple other things. So you guys are getting the best of the best, honestly.
Well, it just
Newest news.
the rumors just kept changing. It was just like a snowball effect. It was things constantly happening. I went in and I filmed the short, and then I had to change the short because new things happened, and I had to go fix this and go fix that. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
Let me ask. I'm always curious.
Yeah.
Who type me in the chat if you watch the shorts? Do you watch the shorts? Right, because I think they're cool. I like the shorts idea because it's very very quick.
Yep.
30, 60 seconds. Like
Chris watches.
Mm-hmm. Let me know who watches the shorts and if you like them too.
Yeah, Tyler's watching. Love that. Yes, Dave, love is in the air. Julian, love on Monday. Ronald, love is in the air. Yes, it is. We're happy for the happy couple. Michael is watching the shorts. Christopher's watching the shorts. Terry, we do need to get a big win. Chris loves the shorts. Awesome. Love that. Christopher says he loves them. Jay-Z Vids loves them. I appreciate that. Honestly, here's my favorite thing about the shorts is got them on right now. It's what I wear exclusively in Dallas. Haven't worn pants since I moved down here. That's a real thing. That's a real thing. Haven't done it. But what I will say is this. I can rip that short and get it out to you guys as soon as it happens, right? Like the minute that it happens, hey, I saw the tweet go out from Michael Sean Duggar. I think that's how you say his name. He's a great writer with The Athletic. Love his content, right? Big Seahawks fan, big Seahawks guy. As soon as I see the tweet drop, I can get that information out to you guys. Like it's boom, bang, and it's out and going. And I can also do it like people have seen. I've done it in my car on the way to the gym. I've done it in my car on the way to get groceries. I've been on a walk, and I've had to shoot a film. Last night, I was in the middle of watching the Mariner game. I had to wait until there was a little break in the action, then I could do another short. It's a great form, I think, of getting out information as quickly as possible. So I'm glad that you guys like that as well. Ben, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm glad that you love them. Awesome. Rondale, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching the shorts. Tom, how's it going? Good to see you. Max, yes, we're going to talk about how the home games can be a little bit worrisome. That's for sure. Isaac, yeah, the attention span can be low, but sometimes you don't need some of the stories don't deserve like a full 10, 15-minute breakdown. Some stories deserve to in and out, 30 seconds. A lot of people are used to that. Guys, especially. Yeah, shut up. Yes.
Some of us. Raul said, I cannot believe these rumors sometimes. Like Achane for Riq, why bring in a running back when we're stacked there? See, this is exactly why our channel exists, so that we talk about it. And we talk about it. Could it be real? Could it be not? Which team benefits? Should they actually do this? This is all, it's news and rumors. So sometimes people will be like, oh, this is stupid. Why are you guys talking about it? Because it's out there. And you guys need to know about it.
Right.
There's rumors out there that they want to trade, Riq for Achane.
Well, and here's the part that's pretty dope. This was the first little rewrite that we had to do in the script. We're going to talk about it kind of extensively in that first segment. It's an interesting trade. It's a big trade if it happens, but I think a lot of Seattle Seahawks fans think the same way that I do, which will be important later on. Rod, $1 billion. I think they'll win by $1 billion. There was someone else in here. Ooh.
Raul, we said this last live.
Yes. Yeah.
No, what I'm about to say.
Oh.
We said this last live. Seahawks fans are smart.
Yes.
Like, one of the smarter fan bases.
100%.
Because Raw's spot on. This is very, very true for some players and some agents, because if you boost the trade value of somebody, that gets their name around, that gets people looking at them a little bit more and be like, hey, maybe I do want that player. They want that player, different team, more money, boom, different contract.
The one
smart guy, Raul.
Raw's very smart. And if you're ever interested in how the business works with agents, go home after we're done. Watch the whole live. You want to hang out with us. We're having a great time. Actually, this is the most viewers we've had at one time in a single live. 118 of you guys. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. Appreciate you. Love you guys. Here's what's actually super interesting. In the world of college football head coaches, all of the big names, Dan Lanning, Kalen DeBoer, I think James Franklin too, Nick Saban, when he was still coaching, they all have the same agent. Jimmy Sexton. Look up Jimmy Sexton and what he'll do. He'll basically come in, and as soon as there's a trade or a head coach vacancy, he just starts naming his guys. And that's how he gets more and more money thrown his guys' way, but more importantly, his way. As someone who's had an agent, I know what that contract looks like. It kind of sucks, and it's sneaky, especially if you're not someone who's high up on that agent's radar. But my understanding, at least for an NFL player, for the contract that I signed with my agent was 3%, right? So if I made however much money, he was going to make 3% of that money. That's what I had to pay him. That was my due. I would assume it's the same way for a lot of the other coaches and things like that, right? It's definitely that way for the players in the NFL. They want to drive that trade value up. They want to drive that number value up. And if they can use two of their own clients pitted against each other, yeah, that's a good payday for them. That's a very, very good payday for them. Shout out the Seattle Mariners. Last night was rough. We're going to get them tonight, though. Very excited for that one as well. We've got such a good fan base in the chat. We've been derailed, already talking about other things. Haven't gotten to mention that in the second segment, we're going to talk about the Seahawks absolutely destroying the Texans. And then, of course, like any good Seattle Seahawks Today live, we got a mailbag. So if you want your questions answered, you want to be on a future video. In fact, I know what day the video will come out. Sunday. Seahawks play on Monday night. If you want to be on the show on Sunday, you will use the hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat in. We've had a couple people do it in the past. Xander is great at this. Xander says, hey, you know what? I want to make sure I'm on the show. He'll send in a super. We answer his question right then and there. Use the hashtag Seahawks to send your question in. We're going to do our best, try and get as many people on as we can, but we cannot guarantee that you will get on.
Somebody like Rock. Oh, Seattle fan.
Boom!
There we go.
Already getting the party started. I love that. Making sure you're in a video. I love that. I love that, Seattle fan number 12. Seattle fan number 12, not only are you a 12, now you're getting on the live, but more importantly, you're getting on the show on Sunday. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. That's awesome. Trading for Brooks would solidify our defense as one. You know what's so funny about that? You had him. You had Jordan Brooks. And then Miami offered a little bit more money than you were willing to pay. I'd be interested to see if this is a move where Seattle goes, because Jordan Brooks is a very good player. I mean, shoot, right now I think he's leading the NFL in tackles. If not, he's top 3. He's a tackle machine. Imagine him next to Ernest Jones. That's a scary tandem right there. Because right now at that will spot, you're kind of rotating back and forth. Yeah, that will spot. Little known fact. But at that will linebacker position, what you're doing is you're constantly rotating between Thomas and between Knight. And Knight, honestly, has taken a gigantic step back, which is unfortunate. So do you bring Jordan Brooks in? Now you got a top tackler to go alongside Ernest Jones. Does it make life easier for them there as well? Let me think about this one a little bit too, and I'll get into it more when we do our mailbag. I'll do a little bit deeper dive, because I do think that this is an interesting idea. I've seen Jordan Brooks get floated. Miami's a dumpster fire. Let me do a little bit of mulling in my head, Seattle fan number 12, and I'll see if maybe I can come to a more concise and clear point. Should Seattle make a trade for Brooks, or should they make a trade for a couple other guys that we'll talk about in that first segment? Make sure you come in, like the video. 46 of you guys have already done it. That's awesome. That is the most likes that we have ever gotten before we even did a segment. Normally, Reed and I, early on in the season, it was, hey, if we get to 20 likes, we'll do the first segment. If we get to 30 likes, we'll do the first segment. This is an awesome, awesome performance from you guys. I really appreciate it. This is why we have the best in the business. Hey, DZ, use the hashtag Seahawks. I see what you're sending in, and I've seen a little bit of floating around. It wasn't enough for me to go into great detail on it. If you use the hashtag about that Browns corner with the question, we might be able to get into it on that mailbag, our third segment.
And on the producer side of it, it's not because we're just saying just because. put hashtag Seahawks, it's so that our software can pull it from YouTube to put it on there. There's a whole system where it will take hashtag Seahawks and it'll take whatever's after that or before or around it. It'll pull that comment and paste it onto our computer. So we need that hashtag Seahawks for it to pop up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Really appreciate it. Hey, Max, I love you, man. I love you. You're the best, man. Appreciate it. Trigger's doing the right thing. Trigger's a real one. Trigger's a day one. He's been here hanging out. I love the real Victor Jones just getting after it, using all the hashtags. Appreciate you. Jay-Z Vids, great job using the hashtag Seahawks. We'll make sure we get that in there. Noah, we'll do our best to get you in there as well. Use the hashtag Seahawks with your questions. We will do our best to get you in a video today, which will later go live on the channel on Sunday. So not only will you be on a video on a Thursday, you'll be on a video on a Sunday as well. Seattle fan number 12 already did it by sending in that super. Make sure that if you would like to join in on that, use the hashtag or you send in the super. Super's going to guarantee you get in as well. So if you don't want to worry about getting passed over or us just accidentally missing you, you can do it that way as well. Remember, subscribe to the channel. We are very near the trade deadline. It is November 4th. So it's floating around, right? It's coming through. John Schneider, he is not afraid to make a big trade right at this deadline. How do you think you got Ernest Jones last year? You didn't just find him off the scrap heap. He was playing for other teams. You went out and you made a big trade for him. It does feel like with all the rumors around Riq Woolen that a trade is coming. Something's going to happen with him for better or for worse with your Seattle Seahawks. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. It is free at a lot of other places, ESPN, The Athletic. You have to subscribe, right? And you have to pay. There's money involved. Well, we pay for it, and then we transfer that information back to you. So if you're looking at yourself like, I would like that content on The Athletic, but I'd like it for free, well, you just subscribe to this channel. We got you covered. Reed's got you covered. Oh, Reed's got you covered. I've got you covered. You're right, I could. Reed's got you covered. Reed's got you covered. We got you covered here on Seahawks Today. You don't want to miss it. Like I said, if there's breaking news, I'm going to make sure I get out a video ASAP. Short form, long form, maybe a combination of both, right? So make sure you're subscribed. That's awesome. 140 of you in the building right now. 64 likes. You know what? Let's get to 70 likes. We get to 70 likes. We are going to do our first show. CeeDee Lamb's back. Ooh, CeeDee Lamb's back. That's interesting. Key for your fantasy teams. Key for your fantasy teams, man. 69 likes. Nice.
Nobody liked the video.
Everyone stop. We're going to go live right now. That'd be so funny. Producer Reed really wanted us to get to 67. Oh, thank you, Young. I appreciate it, man. That's awesome. Charles Merritt, good to see you, man. How you doing in the building? Bang! Just like that. Best fans in the business. 70 likes right now. This is why we're one of the fastest growing channels here at Chat Sports. The road to 75K subs is underway, and man, we can see the finish line rapidly approaching. We're going to get into the first segment of today's show, and that is going to be on the latest trade rumors that are swirling around your Seattle Seahawks. So sit back, enjoy, use the hashtag Seahawks to get your questions in for the mailbag, or you can send in that super. But right now, we're going to dive into that very first show. Welcome into Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and man, oh man, there are trades swirling around your Seattle Seahawks. I feel a little bit like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz in that tornado. Just every single time I turn my head, there's something new going on with the ball club. You've got a couple of trade rumors surrounding your players that would be, a player getting traded for someone in a position that you don't really need. And then there are some trade targets that GM John Schneider could be taking a look at that we're going to dive into on today's show. But I want to make sure that I get this across to you first. Subscribe to the channel. You do not want to miss out on any breaking Seattle Seahawks news. We are right near the trade deadline, and John Schneider is not afraid to make a big-time trade at the deadline. The minute that he does, we are going to get that content out to you. do not worry. If you are subscribed, you will not miss any of that content or any of that information. It's the best way to stay up to date with your Seattle Seahawks. First, we're going to look at the Seahawks making a big splash potential. Now, what might be surprising here is what the compensation is for. The Seattle Seahawks are now rumored to all of a sudden want De'Von Achane? Like, don't you already have Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet at home? Why would the Seahawks make a move where they would trade Riq Woolen away for Dolphins running back De'Von Achane? Now, what this rumor started out as was just kind of a, hey, this is a team in the Miami Dolphins that things aren't going the way that they want it to right now. Riq Woolen's on the trading block. Riq Woolen would fit into their defense if they went through a rebuild. He is a younger player still. People forget that. And it could be a move that Seattle wants to make. Sleeper NFL is the spot where I saw it aggregated, right? Riq Woolen is among other assets that could be used to get Dolphins running back De'Von Achane. And that was from Tony Pauline. He's a sports Kita. Went through and I read the article. It's an interesting article. That's where we're going to leave it at. It's a very interesting article where I feel like maybe there's not an understanding of what's going on in Seattle's running back room because, yeah, Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, maybe they haven't performed to the level that the Seattle Seahawks would want. They definitely haven't performed to the level that I would want. But it doesn't make sense to move on from Riq Woolen, a cornerback in a position room that, well, frankly, right now you are very injury riddled. And if you lose one corner and another corner then gets hurt, which we've seen happen this year, you're moving on to Nehemiah Pritchett, who really hasn't performed at the level that he needs to, for a person that you are already kind of fine in that running back room. Like, if you make this trade, don't you have to move on from Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet? I just don't think that this trade is going to be very likely. It doesn't make sense. Like, at least with the DN position, like trade rumors, right? With like Trey Hendrickson or Max Crosby, guys like that, it's like, okay, this is Seattle upgrading. This is Seattle making a position of strength, a clear position of strength, and one of the best position groups in the NFL. That's not what you would be doing at running back. I don't think that this trade is likely. I do think you're going to see a lot of trades being made at the deadline. And honestly, at this point, I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to be a part of it in some way. I think that the rest of this video is going to get into more likely targets that you could see the Seahawks making moves for. And this is going to be the first time that we really dive into the Seahawks making trades for a defensive player. But before we do that, I want to ask you. I've asked a couple people on Twitter, and a lot of Seahawks fans are the same as me. I'm not trading for De'Von Achane. There's no reason to add him to this team. And honestly, you might have to give up more assets than he's worth, despite the Miami Dolphins not being very good. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. Would you trade for De'Von Achane, or would you not? Now we're going to dive into the potential trade targets for your Seahawks. We've got 4 here, 3 in the same position room, and 1 who it's the same group of players defensively, but he's not in the same position group. I'll let you figure out who these players are as we go through it. The first trade target that Seattle could have would be L'Jarius Sneed over at Tennessee. Now, this is a trade that I actually don't hate because Sneed has shown when he was at Kansas City with the Chiefs that he can be one of the best corners in the NFL. Now, has he taken a step back? Yeah, a little bit. It's clear that he's not performing at the same level. He's clearly not one of the better corners in the NFL like he had been when he was in Kansas City. But he's still a player that's proven. He's a guy who clearly had to fight through some injuries last year. He's a guy who, if he does stay healthy, at being 6'1" at that cornerback position, he becomes a matchup nightmare. Is he someone that fits in the McDonald system a little bit better? I mean, shoot, if you can turn him into half of what his 2022 season was with the Seahawks, I'm going to be pretty darn excited. Now, why would the Titans trade L'Jarius Sneed? It's simple. They suck. They are not good in Tennessee. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Titans. You shouldn't. There's no reason to be. But they just fired their head coach, and his dad quit, which, I mean, that just kind of makes sense. But When you fire a head coach, you're clearly making a decision to go in a different direction. You are going to rebuild a team. L'Jarius Sneed does not fit into that plan. Would he be an upgrade for your Seattle Seahawks? Yeah, I do think he would be. I think he'd be a guy that would start opposite of Devin Witherspoon now that Josh Jobs come back down to earth a little bit, or with the amount of multiple different formations that Seattle likes to run defensively, maybe he's just a guy that you include. Maybe when we look at this depth chart, he doesn't start over Josh Jobe, but he comes in like Riq Woolen does when Devin Witherspoon bounces out to that nickel. Maybe L'Jarius Sneed ends up getting into a position battle with Josh Jobe, and then it turns into an iron sharpens iron type of deal. Maybe this is a spot where now you can move on from a Nehemiah Pritchett and you can add more depth to other position rooms, like that safety room, which has seen a lot of injury issues go its way. You can add in extra wide receivers. Maybe this allows you to now trade Riq Woolen for a De'Von Achane and then trade away some running backs to get some offensive lineman help. Maybe it's the first move. I think that this trade makes sense because not only do you get an upgrade at that cornerback position, or a possible upgrade, but you are now freeing up space to move on from Riq Woolen. Because a lot of the other trades and trade options that you had in Seattle didn't make sense when you trade away Riq Woolen, because you then created a weakness in that cornerback room instead of fixing a weakness and clearing up a strength. So to me, L'Jarius Sneed, I would think that he would make a little bit of sense in Seattle. Now, the next trade target that we are going to go through here is in another organization that, well, they suck. And that's the Miami Dolphins. Rasul Douglas would be a cornerback that Seattle could be a potential target for. It could be someone that they would be willing to bring in. But before we get into who Rasul Douglas is and why we want to bring him in, we're going to get into our sponsor of today's video, and that is Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but being on Prize Picks can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you could cash in. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off, which ones are overhyped. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. I have a 2-pick power play for this week. Travis Kelce, I think he finds the end zone more on his rush and receiving TDs. Jackson Smith and Jigba, more on his rush and receive TDs. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. So as we look through the bio for Rasul Douglas, you can see this year, again, he's having a slightly down year, but he is a strong candidate in this defense. He's a big, tall, long corner. He's a guy who's been in the NFL for quite a while. He understands the game. He understands how to put himself in a position to make big plays for this defense. He's a guy who's had a long career and who's had a good career at that. Now, obviously, he doesn't have any interceptions in the 2024 campaign, but I don't necessarily need him to come into Seattle and immediately have turnovers. I need him to come into Seattle and be able to make tackles on the outside. I need him to come into Seattle and make plays on the outside by not allowing the wide receivers to catch the ball. I'm okay if he has his worst tackle season of his career, as long as he doesn't allow opposing wide receivers to make big-time catches. Why would the Miami Dolphins trade Douglas? They're horrible, man. They have the worst vibes in the NFL. They have player meetings every other day. He does not fit into a rebuild in Miami. Douglas has been in the NFL for a while. He's a guy that can't sit around for another rebuild. He's a guy that, frankly, you weren't sure if he was going to play this year. He can't do that. He needs to come to a place like Seattle where he can win right now. Again, adding Douglas makes it easier to trade Woolen because you have someone to replace Woolen. If you do have that injury or two in that cornerback room, you can rest assured that you have a player that can fill that role, that can fill that spot. A player that, frankly, is going to be a great backup for you, or a player that could maybe even get some quality starts in there as well. The last corner that we're going to look at is back in Tennessee, and that is Roger McCreary. Now, McCreary is a little bit of a younger target, which is different than Sneed and Douglas. They've been around the block for a little bit. McCreary is actually younger than me. He's a guy who has shown a skill set that would be very valuable. So valuable to the point where I think this is probably the most difficult trade that I have thrown up here that Seattle could make, because I don't know that Tennessee is fully willing to get rid of McCreary. You can see his stats over his career so far. I mean, shoot, those 2022 and 23 campaigns, the kid is absolutely fantastic. Now, he doesn't have a lot of interceptions, but he is making a lot of tackles, getting the ball knocked down. He's doing a great job of making plays for that Tennessee defense. Now, he goes down, slight dip in 24, and in 25, he struggled according to PFF grades. But that doesn't mean that he can't come into Seattle and make a big-time play. That doesn't mean that he can't help push you forward. Now, why would you trade for McCreary? Well, you would trade for McCreary because you have the players who can come in, and it's all good. You have the players in McCreary. He would come in and instantly add to this defense. And I also think that sometimes a change of scenery. We get to, all right. So we're going to stop here on the live. We're going to have you guys get to have a peek behind the curtain. I'm going to give some shout outs. It's all right. This happens. Mistakes happen. It's all good. You know what we might end up doing, Reed? We'll fix it behind the scenes. We'll have a convo. It's all good. Not a big deal. Happens from time to time. DZ, use the hashtag Seahawks. I want to talk about those questions, but you got to use the hashtag Seahawks. Thank you, Max. Appreciate it. Yes. Smoke Burp. Good to see you. I'll give you a Hawks. Hawks! Can't give you the seat, but that's okay. I'll give you the Hawks. Ty Man the Buckeye. Good to see you. Giving shout-outs. 160 of you hanging out with us. That's the most we've ever had on a Thursday. Love and appreciate every single one of you. We're at 89 likes. We're going to try and get that number well over the hundreds. I believe the record is 110. The record is 110. I think that we can get to that today. Smoke Burp, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. All right. I'm just going to jump in from silent. Yep. But why would the Seahawks trade for McCreary? The reason that they would trade for McCreary is because he adds to this defense if he can continue to play up to his potential. What's most important for Seattle is going to be bringing in trade pieces that I think can help you in the long term, in the long run. It's why I think it's going to be hard to get McCreary out of Tennessee, because he does fit actually into their rebuilding path. But if you offer up enough, you might be able to bring him in. And if McDonald is willing to offer up enough to get McCreary to play with them in Seattle, I do think that you might find a long-term corner here. Sometimes it just takes a change of scenery. If you trade Riq Woolen away to Tennessee, I hope that that change of scenery works out for him as well. This is the most interesting defensive trade target that I've seen. And that's safety Minkah Fitzpatrick of the Miami Dolphins. Now, I'm going to be honest. This is not coming from an ESPN expert. This is not coming from an NFL.com expert. This is coming from a Seahawks blogger as well. I'm not going to name him. I might be kind of mean in this, so I'm not going to name them. But they offered and said, what if we traded for Minkah Fitzpatrick, and instead of shoring up that cornerback room, we shore up the safety room? Now, Minkah's a great player. I mean, I think that's very obvious. You've seen him come in and make a lot of big plays over his career. But what's most important is why Minkah is in Miami and not why he's in Pittsburgh. You heard he was a locker room cancer in Pittsburgh, and he was not doing the things that he should have been doing or needed to be doing. Why would Miami trade Minkah Fitzpatrick? He does not fit into the long-term plans again. They are blowing this thing up. I don't know if you watch the Chat Sports Miami Dolphins channel. If you're a Miami Dolphins fan, you should. They are in a terrible place right now. I almost said a bad word. They are not in a good spot. Literally every video is fire everybody. If they're firing everybody, that means they're rebuilding. And if they're rebuilding, a close to 30 or over 30 safety does not fit into that. They would trade him away. He is not a long-term asset. I want this clear, though, because I've said it already, and I'm going to say it again. No! I do not want Minkah. I don't care if he is this great player that he used to be back at the beginning of his career. I do not want him. Julian Love will come back and be healthy soon. He is a better option. He is a leader in the clubhouse for you. Nick Eamon-Worry just graded out on PFF at over 80. Kobe Bryant, yes, he's had his struggles in tackling, but when he gets called to the carpet, he fixes those mistakes. Even Ty Okuda is fixing some of the issues that he's had. I do not want Minkah Fitzpatrick. But it's not fair to just listen to me. While I do bleed Seahawks blue and green, and I am an expert in the field, that doesn't mean that I'm always right. So I want you to pick one. Would you trade for any of these players? If you trade for L'Jarius Sneed, type LS in the comments. Rasul Douglas, RD. Roger McCreary, that's the one I'd really like. RM down in the comments. Minkah Fitzpatrick, no. Type MF in the comment. And don't add an at Will Ortner. That would hurt my feelings. Just MF. Right now, we are trying to catch the Chiefs channel here at Chat Sports. We are within 250 subscribers. I want to catch them by the end of October. I think not only can we catch them, we can put some big distance between them and us by the end of October. Help us get there. Subscribe to the channel. If you know anyone who loves the Seattle Seahawks, have them subscribe to the channel as well. And until next time, I'll see you later. Awesome. All right, we're back. You guys got to see a little bit of the behind-the-scenes stuff. It happens.
That was all producer Reed's fault. So you can.
Here, I'll tell you this right now. Producer Reed has fixed a lot of my mistakes, a lot, to the point. There was a point in time where I'm pretty sure he was feeding me. He was feeding me when it came to getting through on a lot of this stuff when it comes to the graphics. Mistakes happen. I'm not worried about it. It'll be okay. And hey, guess what? When you watch this video that's going to come out on Friday, it's going to be picture perfect.
That's why you join the live, so you can see behind the scenes of how the sausage is made.
That's right. You get to see all the fun stuff, all the good stuff. Raul Bryan! I hope I got your name right, man. Good to see you. Glad I found this channel lately. Keep up the good work. #12s. Dude, I love and appreciate you. That's freaking awesome, man. I love doing the Seahawks report. I love talking about my favorite team. I've been a fan since birth. Born in Vancouver, raised in Vancouver, Washington, went to Hockinson High School. I bleed Washington more than anybody else. I mean, shoot. There were some questions in the Chat Sports offices if I was okay when I had to watch the Mariners and the Blue Jays game 2. When Jorge hit his big home run, there were some questions about if I was a sane person. There were some questions about if I could be allowed to watch the game around others without a cage being around me. I'm a big Seattle Seahawks fan, so I love doing the channel, and I appreciate that there are people like Raul and there's people that love this channel and are enjoying the content that we're making here. We try and make the best stuff for you as well as have the most accurate and up-to-date information for you as well. So thank you to everyone who tunes in. We do really appreciate it. Christina, you got the battle of the unks tonight. You got Aaron Rodgers and you got Joe Flacco. Two guys that I don't think they're old enough to be my dad, but they might be old enough to be producer Reed's dad. 41 and 40. I'm 27. Okay, so people had more fun than me earlier. That's just how life works. I didn't understand that. People had more fun than me. Some of us were hefty in high school. Some of us were hefty. Yes, the Retirement Bowl, Light Shadow Onyx. Hey, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Jeff, good to see you. RM, Roger McCreary. Yeah, I do like that. Jeff and I are in agreement, man. That's awesome. The Icy Hot Bowl, Max, that's awesome. That's awesome. Leo. Oh, yeah, that would be hard. I don't see anyone in the division making a trade with us, but then again, the Browns did with the Bengals, so like crazier things have happened before, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. We're going through here. Miles Bryant from TB. Yeah, those are good options. I would love Ezra Cleveland. So here's a funny story. Ezra does not remember me, has no idea who I am. Ezra and I are the same age, and so Ezra and I went through the same camp circuit together. So we went up and we did like the Nike Elite camp together. He was much better than me, by the way. Let's make that very clear. We did like the Rough Diamond Showcase together. We did the Northwest Elite together. He was elite. I was not. So Ezra, I always have a rooting interest in him. He's from Bethel, the Bethel Bison. Now, when he went there, they had a different name. Not going to say that name. Different name. Think that other Washington team. Not that egregious. Atlanta. That's better. Atlanta. We got a little bit more coming up in the show today. You got to see how we did the first video. I went a little long-winded. That happens from time to time. We're going to get into why I think the Seahawks will destroy the Texans. And, of course, at the very end of the show, I want to answer the questions that you all have. You guys are super smart here at the Seahawks Today channel. You guys do a great job of staying informed, staying up to date with information. So if you want your question featured on the show, you can use the hashtag Seahawks or send in a super like Raul, like Seattle fan. And here's the cool part. If you send in that super, not only are you going to be on today's show, you're going to be on our Sunday show as well. You're going to be on our Sunday show that we will push out that day. So you get to be on 2 different shows on the channel. I always think that's awesome. Growing up, I used to watch like Sports Center. I used to watch Outside the Lines. Outside the Lines was a big one for me.
Did you ever watch Sports Nation?
Dude, I'm one of the biggest Colin Cowherd fanatics you've ever heard. I grew up on Colin Cowherd doing Friday Night Lights on Channel 8 down in the Portland area. Oh, yeah. I remember when the Herd was only live in Portland. That's how big of a Cowherd guy I am. And I always wanted to be featured on the show. I remember they used to do call-ins, not to Colin's show, but to the show at the nighttime at the same station. And I remember trying to call in and the producer literally being like, no, you're a child. You cannot be on the show. So if you want to have an opportunity to be on the show, I don't care. Whatever your questions are, love to get you on the show.
With Michelle Beadle?
Michelle Beadle? Well, it was Michelle
Beadle.
Carissa Thompson, right?
I think Carissa was on there. There was one.
Carissa was, I believe Carissa's a Washington State grad, too.
Who? I'm trying to remember. Marcellus Wiley.
Yeah, Marcellus.
He was so good.
Marcellus Wiley. Great shows. Great shows. I remember trying to get on all those shows, be so excited. So I'm happy that we get to do a show here where we can get as many Seahawk fans on the show as well. Leo appreciates Cowherd. Only one in the media. Yes. Well, that's the thing, man. No one gives the West Coast any love. It's literally Mina and Colin, and it's because they're from this area. Like, if they weren't from this area, they wouldn't give us the love that we deserve. So it feels good. We got 146 hanging out with us right now. We're at 99 likes. Let's get 5 more. Let's get to 104. We get to 104 likes. We'll do the second segment. I have to get out of here, but I don't have to get out of here that early. There's a reason we went live 30 minutes earlier than we normally do, because I like to hang out with you guys, have a conversation. We have some of the smartest fans, some of the best fans here at Chat Sports. And just like that, producer Reed, I literally asked, 10 seconds later, delivered. Peep over-delivered, 105. We are on pace right now to break the record for most likes in a Seahawks Today live on a Thursday. It was 110. 110. We're at 105, and we haven't even gotten into the mailbag yet. That's freaking awesome. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. These are the real ones. These are the real fans. The guys, anyone can tune in and out of a video. Anyone can watch one video and then not watch 3 or 4 and then watch one. Anyone can show up on the Sunday, Monday night watch parties, and we hope that you do. But the real ones, the ones who are ride or dies here for Seahawks Today, for me, for producer Reed, for Chat Sports, they're in on it. Wow! Oh my goodness! We got to do something for them. We got to do something. Maybe at the end of the show, you know what? We'll do a cheers. We might we'll give our producer Reed and I will give each other concussions. That's what we'll do. That's awesome. 113 likes, smashing the record, absolutely pulverizing the competition. That's awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you to each and every one of you who liked the stream, who liked the video. We're not going anywhere. We still got 2 more segments to get through. Also, if you could, follow me over on social media. The Riq Woolen, Devin Witherspoon, and Julian Love tweet went out today at 2 o'clock. Producer Reed, do we have that? Do we have that tweet? Yes. I just want to show it because I want to show the timestamp specifically, and then we'll come right back to the social media one. Yes, and we'll come right back to my social media one after this. But I want you to notice something. Do you see the time? Do you see the time? 2:22 p.m. Now, that is my time zone. But 2:22 Central Time, so 12:22 Pacific Time. There was a video out on the channel within 10 minutes. I fired out a short, and what's most impressive, though, is while I got that video out quickly, I got the tweet out faster. The minute that there is breaking news and I hear it, or I get it reported to me, I go on Twitter, and I tweet it out, at Will Ortner. I then, as soon as I get done with that, I rip a short video. Then I post it on YouTube, I post it on my Instagram, and I post it over on the Seahawks Today Facebook. So if you would like that instant information, you can head over and follow me at Will Ortner on X and on Instagram. Great content. A lot of Central Washington University propaganda. I'll be honest about that. Number 6 in the nation right now. Just took down UT Permian Basin. Suck it, nerds. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of Central Washington and West Coast propaganda. But more importantly, you're going to get the latest breaking Seahawks news as fast as possible there. So make sure you go and follow me. We're going to get into our second video because you guys absolutely crushed it. We're already at 116 likes. I was just asking for 104. Broke the record, smashed the record. We're going to get into this second video. And then, of course, we will get you guys in to our last chance for the mailbag. We'll get it rocking and rolling for you guys there. So appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. And without further ado, enjoy. Without further ado, enjoy our second video. Boom. Boom. Sounds good to me. All right. The Seahawks have a big one on Monday night. They are taking on the Houston Texans in Lumen Field. And what's most important about this matchup for the Seahawks, it is your last game before you go into the bye week. Do you want to be confident going into the bye week? Do you want to feel good about yourself going into the bye week? Or do you want to have a sour taste in your mouth because you did not come away with a victory against the Houston Texans, and then you got to wait 13 days until you get to play again? I'm going to tell you in today's video why the Seahawks are going to be very, very happy with their performance on Monday, and why Seahawk fans are going to be very, very happy when they go to work on Tuesday and can brag about their Seattle Seahawks victory. Welcome into Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and I want you to let me know right now, down in the comments, are you confident with the level of play that the Seattle Seahawks have had? Do you think the Seahawks are going to win on Monday night against the Houston Texans? Type yes if you think they do win. Type no if you think they don't. Now, why might some people not be super confident? Well, this is Mike McDonald's home record when it comes to him being the head coach of your Seattle Seahawks. The greens are the wins. The reds are the losses. There's a lot more reds than there are greens. Right now, Mike Macdonald is 4-8 at home, and Seattle has to win this game. They have to find a way to come out on top. They have to find a way to stop this Houston Texans offense, not allow it to get going because it hasn't gotten going for most of this year. But more importantly, they have to find a way to build confidence in themselves that they can win games at home. You have to fix your woes in Seattle. I'm tired of feeling bad after a game at Lumen Field. It used to be the most difficult place to play in the entire NFL. And now it honestly feels like Seattle fans would rather have the Seahawks play in road games. We can't have that happen. Got to have the Seahawks find a way to get a victory. And frankly, I think they can. And frankly, I think that they will on Monday night. I've got some keys to victory. We're talking about your Seattle Seahawks. I got 4 of them. You know me. I go through the tape. I watch what needs to be watched. I listen to the experts in the field. I use my own football IQ, my own football knowledge when it comes to creating a game plan and a roadmap for victory for your Seattle Seahawks. And I think I've cooked up my best one when we go through the 4 in this game. You need to stay on time offensively. Now, you might be looking at me going, Will Ortner's crazy. What is he talking about when he says you need to stay on time offensively? What I mean by that is when coaches talk about staying on time, it's you are getting 2 to 3 yards a carry. You are throwing for 2 or 3 yards and gaining those yards when it comes to your passes in an offense. You aren't set up for 2nd and 10 or longer. You aren't set up for 3rd and 7 or longer. Because right now, the Texans probably have the best defense in the NFL. There's some arguments to be made about your defense in Seattle. There's some arguments to be made about your defense in Denver. But the Houston Texans, man, that defense is nasty and they're making a lot of plays. When it comes to your Seahawks, you suck in 3rd and long. You suck right now in 3rd and long. You saw it against the Jaguars. You had 1 3rd down conversion because you were constantly behind the sticks. You were constantly off time. You were not gaining yards on 1st and 2nd down, doing the things that you needed to do. You got to find a way to fix that. And I think it starts with these 2 guys right here. Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet need to run the ball more effectively. I know it isn't solely on those 2. The offensive line has their own issues that they need to make up for as well. But right now, it isn't good enough from this crew. They are not getting the job done. Can you get the job done against the Houston Texans defense that is flying around, making plays, holding teams to under 14 points on the road? If this running back crew is able to, I'm not even asking for 4. Give me 3. If they're able to run for 3 yards a clip when they get the ball, that's going to set your team up for 2nd and 7. That might set your team up for 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3. Now everything in your playbook is open to you. You can run the ball on 3rd down. You can drop straight back and pass. You can be under center. You can run play action. You can be in shotgun. Everything is there available for you. I mean, shoot, depending on where you are on the field, 4 down territory might be an option. You got to find a way to get this rushing attack going. Otherwise, you're asking a lot of Sam Darnold. You're asking Sam Darnold to be Superman. And as good as he has been this year, and he's been freaking awesome, I don't know that I want to ask Sam Darnold to be Superman constantly and continue to go back to the well of, hey, our quarterback has to be great. Our quarterback has to be a top 8 quarterback in the NFL in the 2025 season or else we lose games. The rushing attack has to show up. It will help everybody else stay on time offensively. The next key to victory, you got to win the war in the trenches. Your fat boys got to show up against their fat boys. It's okay. I'm allowed to say it. I used to play offensive line. Your O-line going up against this Houston Texans D-line is going to be a problem. And it's not because your O-line is hot garbage. It's honestly because the Texans D-line is that good. There's a reason why when they brought in DeMeco Ryans, they said, fix our defense. And he has. He's gone out and gotten guys that are playing downhill, getting after the quarterback, getting after rushing attacks with a relentless pursuit. They do not get tired. You have to find a way offensively to win these one-on-one battles and get reach blocks, get guys off the ball so that there are holes that Zach Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker can run through. The most important battle is always going to be in the trenches. I like how you look right now as a defensive line against the Texans' O-line. So you are already winning one of the two most important battles. Can you win the second one? Can you go 2 for 2? And the spot that I'm going to look at specifically is on the edges. Because right now, you are going to see a primetime matchup between 2 edge rushers in Houston and 2 of your tackles in Seattle. Will Anderson Jr. and Danielle Hunter, honestly, by themselves, would be scary. Like, Will Anderson, we didn't give him enough credit when he came out of Alabama, and we gave him a lot of credit. He was the guy that we talked about potentially winning a Heisman. He's a complete game changer, a complete game wrecker. You need his counterpart, Charles Cross, or I guess his opponent in this sense, Charles Cross, to shut him down. You need Abe Lucas to get that right side rolling so you can run the ball to the right side. More importantly, though, for both of them, you cannot let Hunter or Anderson get to the QB. If they get to Sam Darnold, he could be rattled early. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to go back to old Sam Darnold where he's seeing ghosts, he's scared, and he's fearful. But when you got 7 sacks, 6 games through the year, or actually it's less than that because the Texans are coming off a bye. When you got 7 sacks that early in the year from those two, that's a scary combo. That's a scary crew that you have to go against. You need Lucas and Cross to go out there and show you that they are elite tackles. You need them to go out and show you why you paid Lucas the big bucks. And more importantly, why you're going to pay Charles Cross the big bucks. Both of them so far, when it comes to efficiency and not getting beat, they are some of the best tackles in the NFL. Prove it. This is your toughest test. Prove that you are elite tackles. Prove that you are worth the money that you've been paid. I think they can do it. Hopefully you do too. The other big battle that everyone's going to watch, it's fascinating. Houston Texans chat sports host Jeremy Chuggs, he thinks that Derek Stingley Jr. can shut down Jackson Smith-Njigba. He thinks that Stingley can lock down the best wide receiver in the NFL for the 2025 season. Here's the thing that it's not that crazy. If there's anyone that can do it, it is Stingley. He's a smaller corner. He's more of a traditional style corner where he is going to use his speed and his athleticism to keep up with a person like Jackson Smith-Njigba. You would not match up a Jackson Smith-Njigba against a Richard Sherman because Richard Sherman would lose. Richard Sherman is a guy who, well, frankly, he's probably going to be a Seattle Seahawks Hall of Famer. I don't know that he gets into the NFL Hall of Fame, but there was a point in time where he was the best cornerback in football. He would have gotten cooked by Jackson Smith-Njigba because the matchup just doesn't work. Derek Stingley's matchup really does. That being said, can you imagine trying to shut down this star? Can you imagine trying to shut down a guy who through 6 games almost has 700 yards on the season? Can you imagine trying to stop a player that every single game comes in and finds a way to get open by different means? Some games, it's athleticism. Some games, it's smarts and understanding the defense. And most importantly, what he does that nobody else does better than him in the league is beat one-on-one coverage. Because the Texans are going to want to try and put Stingley one-on-one against Jackson Smith-Njigba because it allows them to do everything else. It allows them to blitz more. It allows them to have a focus on some of their weaker corners against Cooper Kupp, against Torrey Horton, against Elijah Arroyo. Can Jackson Smith-Njigba force them to double team him? This is the most impressive graph I've ever seen. It's absolutely ridiculous. So this is the amount of times a wide receiver is targeted per route, and it's also the amount of yards that a receiver gets per route run. Now, it's going to be hard for you to see, so I'm going to make sure I point it out myself. That's Jackson Smith-Njigba. Here is everyone else. Here's Puka Nacua, doing pretty decent for himself. There's Jackson Smith-Njigba. They had to make a whole new graph for him. He's insane right now. He's insane. He's averaging over 4 yards a route run. That's not balls that were thrown to him, he's catching the ball for 4 or more. No. Every time he runs a route, he averages 4 yards on that route. It's insane. I think Jackson Smith-Njigba shows everybody just how elite he is. He came into this year underrated. Can he do it without DK Metcalf? Will he be able to get open? DK's the one who made everything great for him. And I love DK. I did. I wanted Seattle to keep him. Jackson Smith-Njigba is a star. He's an elite number 1 wide receiver in the NFL. And right now he's on pace for like just under 2,000 yards on the year. Kid's insane. Who do you have winning this matchup? I know who I'm rocking with. I'm rocking with our guy. I'm rocking with wide receiver number 1. I'm rocking with wide receiver number 11 in Seattle. I'm typing JSN down below in the comments. Are you typing JSN or are you typing DS? If you're typing DS, get out of here. Get out of here. I want to talk to you about the rest of my keys to the game, but before I do that, I would be remiss to let you know about this insane deal over at chatsports.com/Seahawks shirt. You go to this address right here, you can get this sweet t-shirt right behind me. Emerald City Football, man, that thing is sweet. Normally $35. It's $13.99 right now. You head on over to chatsports.com/Seahawks shirt. It's going to be in the comments as well. Looking pretty fly. Like a Seattle Seahawks fan. I'm jealous. I might have to jump on that deal. It's a great spot. Remember, chatsports.com/Seattle or Seahawks shirt. Chatsports.com/Seahawks shirt. The last key to victory that we got to get into in this one, don't turn the ball over. It sounds pretty simple. Sounds pretty easy. It's a lot harder than most people think. Do not turn the football over in this ball game. This Houston Texans defense is opportunistic. If they can go after you and get the ball back to their offense, that's a big deal. Right now, offensively, do what you did against Jacksonville, man. That Jaguars defense was as opportunistic as they come. They got a lot of interceptions. They forced a lot of fumbles. Don't let the Texans get extra chances. Follow a similar style of game plan as you did against the Jaguars. I think this is going to be a rock'em sock'em type of football game. I do not think this is going to be high scoring. Might be a race to 20. Might be a race to 24, to be honest with you. Whoever gets there first is going to win this ball game. Don't let the Texans have extra chances at scoring the football against you in this one. And then defensively, Texans offense has struggled. Now, they did have a big explosion against the Baltimore Ravens. They've done okay. They've been fine. But they really haven't been that great. There's a reason why people are wondering if C.J. Stroud is the guy. Can you force him to cause turnovers? Can you force him to make those turnovers? Can you stop this rushing attack and make them fumble the football? I still think you haven't forced a fumble yet, and you're going into week 7. That's pretty crazy with how good this defense is. Can that defensive line absolutely torch the offensive line of the Houston Texans and create those turnovers? Here are my keys to victory, man. Stay on time offensively. Take what the defense gives you. You got to win that battle in the trenches. Don't be afraid to lean on your tackles. They have a very tall task in this one, but I think they can stand up for you. Can Jackson Smith-Njigba get the job done against Derek Stingley Jr.? I think this is a great spot for him to have his Odell Beckham Jr. type of moment, right? People liked Odell Beckham Jr. Then he had that crazy catch against the Cowboys, and everybody loved him. Jackson Smith-Njigba could have a coming out party on Monday night because the world will be watching. Now, of course, don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over. Don't give them extra chances. Make sure you head on over to X and follow me at Will Ortner. We got that down below. I'm constantly tweeting about the Seattle Seahawks, getting the latest news, rumors, and information out to you. And, of course, subscribe to the channel. The road to 75K is almost done, but we don't want to stop short. We want to make sure that we finish through the line the best that we can. And until next time, I'll see you later. Booyah! Who you got, Julian? What's up? It's good to see ya. Type JSN down below if you think it's our boy Jackson Smith-Njigba. If you think it's Derek Stingley Jr., you can go type that DS. You better not. Light Shadow Onyx, Texans O-line is not good. Chugs is very, very fearful here. That's our Texans host. He's very fearful. Q is lighting it up. I love that. Jacob, I think he dogs him too. I hope he does. Tizza, what up? That's crazy. 116 viewers, 119 likes. It's our most viewed live that we've had. It's our most liked live that we've had on a Thursday. That's freaking awesome. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We love you guys. This is awesome. Awesome. Easily our most viewed. 185 people. 185 people hanging out with us. Yeah, I'm good on time. I am good on time. I would love to talk with you guys. Here's the best way to talk with me. Use that hashtag Seahawks, or you can send in a super. We'll get you featured up on today's show. And more importantly, you'll get in on the Mailbag show, which means not only will you be on today's show, you'll be on Sunday's show too. So you'll be on 2 videos for the price of 1 here on Seahawks Today. You can show your friends, you show your family. And I love talking ball with the people here. We have some of the smartest, some of the best fans, some of the best and most knowledgeable football fans. Easy. So I love talking with everyone who's here. 124 likes. 124 likes. That is unbelievable. New Yoda. That's what they used to call him. Steve Largent, they called him Yoda. Yeah, producer Reed doesn't know about that Yoda. Don't know about that Yoda. Joel, I couldn't agree with you more, man. He's a smaller in stature receiver. Finds a way to keep getting open. You know what I like to do? I've started doing this too. Steve Rabel does the radio call for the Seattle Seahawks. It's beautiful. I'll go back home, and on my walk home, I'll listen. I'll go back in and listen. It's my favorite thing to do. What matchup does Cup have? I forget the name of the. It's another good cornerback on the other side. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll pull it up right now. I am still fighting through O-line issues of getting hit in the head a lot. Producer Reed's beating me to it. He's doing a better job. He knows more than me. Thank you. Kamari Lassiter. And Petrie. I think it's Lassiter is the one that. Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's Lassiter. Thank you, Julian. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do, Cosmo. I think if JSN has more than 70 yards, it is a W for him because I think it's a tough matchup. Like Sauce Gardner against JSN, I'm taking JSN all day, right? Because those are the 2 big corners from that same draft. It was Stingley, then Sauce. Sauce is a bigger guy. Sauce isn't going to be able to run in and out, get out of those cuts with JSN. He just can't. His body won't allow him to. JSN get in and out of those cuts. Derek Stingley, he's going to have a fighting chance. I don't know that he gets it done, but he's going to have a fighting chance. 126 likes. Wow. Oh, my goodness. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up and up and up here on Seahawks Today. It's good to be a Seahawks fan. It's your final call. We're not rushing, but make sure you use the hashtag Seahawks or super chat the show because the next segment is our mailbag. You want to be a part of it, most importantly, because you'd be on 2 different shows. You'd be on today's show, and you'd be on our show on Sunday. You want to be a part of that, we'll get that out to you. Don't miss it. Appreciate it. Q, put your question in with it. Put your question in and then use the hashtag Seahawks. Put your question in. Or you can give a take, too. I'm cool with that. Yeah. So producer Reed pulled it, Q. So that's what it looks like. We want you to use the hashtag. You have to put your question in, man. You got to put your question in. So, or your take. You can do it. You can have a take. I'm cool with that. Have a take. Hey, the Seahawks need to keep Riq Woolen because you don't have the depth at that cornerback spot.
Q, you did it twice?
He did it twice.
He was probably like a...
He did it twice.
He typed it out and then hit, and it was like, ah! And then did it again and went, no!
It's like me trying to figure out how to use Slack the first week I worked here. The amount of messages I had to edit Unbelievable. 100. Oh, we have a great chat. We have a lot of trollers. That's awesome. It's awesome. We got a lot of trollers, man. That's awesome. Ooh, shout out. Shout out. Hey, I want to make sure I shout out Jazzy and Lucas. I don't know if you're here still, but thank you so much for following me on Instagram. Appreciate both of you. That's awesome, man. That's freaking awesome. Shout out to y'all who appreciate it. Where did I get that hat? I don't know where I got that. I'm gonna be honest. It was gotten for me. It was gotten for me. I'm gonna be honest about that one. Yeah, you get that sweet shirt, dude. Sweet shirt. Sweet shirt. Absolutely love it. David, thank you for sending in your hashtag, dude. That's awesome. Hey, goal was to get over 900 followers on Twitter this week. 901. 901. That's because of you guys. Appreciate it. 901. 901. Q, you did it. You did it. Shout out to Q. That's awesome. That's awesome, Q. You got it through. You got it through. That's awesome. Julian, appreciate it. Trigger. Hawks. 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 I'll tell you this. It's just me? Oh, my goodness. Producer Reed's trolling me, too. I'm dealing with trolls everywhere.
I was muted, so it's just him going, Hawks.
It's not safe. It's not safe. Here's what I'll tell you. I am, so, I don't know if I should say this, but I'm going to anyways. I am going back to the great state of Washington. I will be there tonight.
What's your flight number so everyone knows?
I'll give you my I'll give you my socials too. No, but here's the thing. I will be in Spokane. I'm not going to tell you where in Spokane, but I'll be in the greater Spokane area. There are two things that are, well, one thing's going to happen for sure. Second thing, it would be kind of cool if it did happen. First thing, getting a Zips hurricane. Think Dairy Queen Blizzard. Great Eastern Washington delicacy. Two, there's a Seahawks Today fan. We're posting a picture on Twitter. If you come up to me and are like, I listen to Seahawks Today, I love Seahawks Today, we're tweeting you out. We're hugging. Ooh, we can get them on the show. If you'd like to, we get you on the show that way. So if you're in that Spokane area, you run into me, come up, say hi. We'll do a handshake. We'll create something cool. We'll do, I don't know, we'll exchange Taylor Swift beads. You ever seen those? Do you have one? I have one. Do you not have a Taylor Swift bead?
I do not.
You're not a Swiftie?
But I don't think I am.
You're not a Swiftie?
I like her.
Swift.
I like her. I like her music.
T-Sweezy?
Yeah, I like her music. But I don't think I'm a Swiftie.
I think if we say Taylor Swift and Swiftie enough, we're going to, just explode this channel.
Look, we're already under 100 viewers
now. Oh, no! It did the opposite of what I thought. I need to get the viewers back up. How do we do that? Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur Sanders. We're getting it back up. It's okay.
If you say Shedeur Sanders 3 times, our Browns host will appear.
I made that joke in front of him on one of the shows earlier this week, and it did make him laugh. And so I know it's okay to make that joke. Here's the deal, man.
You'll go Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, and he'll pop up and go perfect timing.
I was gonna say, hey, we're already at 104. Look at that. The numbers are going up. The numbers are going up if we say that. Okay. I think a lot of people. I think the bosses here at Chat Sports would really like them to pay him. I think play him. I think that'd be big for everyone. Here's the deal. I'm gonna start a 2-minute timer. 2-minute timer. As soon as the timer runs out,
Trigger said, say it 3 times, and Prime Time will spawn in and take over as coach.
That's fantastic. That's freaking awesome. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to do a 2-minute timer. That is your last chance to get the hashtag Seahawks or send in a super chat to be a part of the show. Timer has started. You got 2 minutes, and then we're going to rip through our last segment, our last seggy, which is a fantastic mailbag that you want to be a part of. Oh, my goodness. Oh, no. Thought I was charging my phone this whole time. It's awkward. I thought I was charging my phone.
Sebastian said, why do I feel like we're inferior to the 49ers still? Like we're always going to lose to them? I honestly, I think they're cursed, but also I think they like sold their soul because they are the most injury-prone, injured NFL team I've ever seen.
Well,
and they're still 4-2.
Yeah,
how is that possible?
They're coming back down to earth, man.
Yeah,
they're coming back. They just are. They're coming back down to earth. It's 100% going to happen. They just have to, man. They just have. You can't keep sustaining success like this. Everyone and their mother's hurt. The injury Fred Warner has, actually, ironically enough, is very similar to what my cousin had over at Idaho State. Shout out the Bengals. Shout out Adam Watts, great receiver over there. It's a brutal surgery. I don't wish it on any of them, man. That sucks. That's a brutal one. That's a tough one. 133 likes. Absolutely smashed our like record for a Thursday live. We'll check in what that is after we get through the last segment. I do want to make sure I say this. Old Greasy, doing great, man. Doing great. It's good to see you too. It's good to see you too. I'm doing great. I get to be back in the great state of Washington. Going to be in Spokane. Get to see 2 great friends of mine. One a childhood friend, and then another one who is recently, well, I guess I shouldn't say recently. She's been around a while, but she's come into my life through him. I'm very excited to see them get married on this weekend. They've been gracious enough to allow me to have my phone and watch college football games when I am not needed as a groomsman. So it'll be great. Very excited. Tan suit. Never worn a tan suit before. Yeah, I might sweat. That might be a problem. Sweaty armpits might be a problem. All right, we're past the 2 minutes on the timer. I'm going to stop it. I gave you an extra 30 seconds. So if you didn't have an opportunity to get it in, that's okay. You'll have to do it next time because we'll be live again next Thursday. So if you have a question, unfortunately, producer Reed's got to go through some back channel stuff, pulling the different things that he needs to. So I want to make sure that I give him plenty of time to do that. But I appreciate every single one of you who are hanging out. And if you got a question that came in, good for you. And we'll see if we get it up on the video. And if you don't, come back next week. Julian can attest to this. Trigger can attest to this. I think Smoke Burp's been here for Thursdays as well. They can attest to this. That if you don't get on this week, but you come back next week, you're probably going to get on. So we try and show as many questions as we possibly can, but we can't always get to all of them. Awesome. All right. Look at that. Are we ready to go, Producer Reed? Julian's in the comments saying true. Love that. All right. Without a further ado, we're going to get into our final video, and then when I come back, I'll sign off and say goodbye to every one of you guys. Thank you for being here, and we're going to get into our mailbag. Welcome into Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and we need to start a streak. What do I mean by that? Not Will Ferrell in old school. I mean your Seattle Seahawks getting on a winning streak again. You beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's one. You need to beat the Houston Texans to win 2 in a row. And the best way for us to help them do that is by going in and smashing that like button on this video. All right, we got to get into our first. And, something tells me this is a jokester. On your knees, what's up? Good to see you. Excited for you to be here. Thank you for hanging out with us on this mailbag episode of Seahawks Today. What are the odds of a Trey Hendrickson trade? Well, on your knees, I think it's important for you and everybody else who is a Seattle Seahawks fan, myself included, to understand that I don't think a Trey Hendrickson trade is going to be in the works. Now, I know a lot of people on your knees would really like it if the Seahawks got a defensive end upgrade in the form of an elite pass rusher. It's not that DeMarcus Lawrence isn't doing a good job. It isn't that Uchenna Nwosu isn't doing a good job. It's not that, go down the list of players, Derek Hall, Boye Mafe, it's not that they're not doing a good job. It's just, what is Seattle clearly missing? Seattle is missing that 15 sack a year guy. That guy who can be the top NFL sack getter. Unfortunately, at this time in his career, DeMarcus Lawrence isn't that guy. Uchenna Nwosu is a great addition. He's having a great year. He's top 5 in sacks since week 4, but he's probably not that guy. I still like what you have in your edges right now. I think unless you can get a sweetheart of a deal on Yanez, I don't think that it is going to be worth it to trade for Trey Hendrickson. I think that there are positions that are more valuable that you don't have a clear strength in that you can go and make a trade for that would help you there. I'm thinking about cornerback. I'm thinking about offensive line when I say those things. Seattle fan number 12, what's up? Appreciate you sending in the super. Good to see you. Trading for Brooks would solidify our defense as one. Yes. So what you're talking about here is Jordan Brooks. He's been actually linked to the Seahawks. Ironically enough, we would not have to use any graphic design nerds to come in and get a jersey swap. Well, because Jordan Brooks originally played for your Seattle Seahawks. Would he make a great addition as that will linebacker? I cannot imagine Jordan Brooks, who's top 3, I believe, right now in the NFL when it comes to tackles, matched up next to Ernest Jones. Here is my fear. You have seen Drake Thomas play fairly well this year. Tyrese Knight has clearly taken a step back, but he's played well in the past. What are you giving up to get Jordan Brooks? Jordan Brooks is playing in Miami right now, an organization that is not very good, and they are going to fire sale. Jordan Brooks is probably someone who doesn't fit into their long-term plans in Miami to go through a rebuild. He's going to be on the market. What does he cost? Because if he costs more than a day 3 pick, I don't know if that's the position that I want to spend that day 3 pick. Now, would you immediately have a linebacking unit that would rival, well, Bobby Wagner and Jordan Brooks or Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright? Yeah, you would. You'd have a really good linebacking unit. But, and this would be my fear, is that you would not have the positions that you need elsewhere. Because if you're trading to get Jordan Brooks, probably moving on from Riq Woolen. If you're moving on from Riq Woolen, that cornerback room gets real light. It's real sketchy. So that would be my one fear there with Jordan Brooks. If the price is right, though, of course, man. Go do it. Max, how's it going, man? Appreciate you. Been trying to get you on, man. That's awesome. Good to see you. Hashtag Seahawks. Should we bring Olu into center and push Sundell out to right guard? I'm sick of Bradford. I think if you don't see the Seahawks make a move at the trade deadline, this is exactly what they're going to do. When you look at this offensive line position room right now, there is a clear issue on the right side, and it's not Abraham Lucas. Abraham Lucas is playing, I'd say, pretty well. He's one of the better tackles in the league, at least above average. But right now, you can't run to the right side. When it comes to PFF grades, Anthony Bradford is in the bottom third of the NFL. But I would also make this clear. Jalen Sundell is as well. Jalen Sundell right now is struggling when it comes to blocking one-on-one. What makes him a good player is his size. And by his size, I mean his ability to contort himself and get himself into positions that most centers can't because he is smaller than most centers. When you run those long outside zone schemes that Seattle wants to run, you need a center that can move and can run and can get out to the edge and can reach a 1 and can reach a 2 and can reach a 3. Someone that can reach someone that's on the outside of the guard next to them. The problem is when Jalen Sundell has to go forward and through someone, he's not able to do it. There's a reason why so few centers can play that position at the weight of 280 or less, like Jason Kelce did it in Philadelphia. Jason Kelce was able to do it because he's a freak when it comes to strength and athleticism. Jalen Sundell is freaky when it comes to athleticism. His strength isn't quite there, at least not yet. I'm not ready to move off of him completely, But there needs to be some switching around in that offensive line unit because I don't necessarily think that the running or lack of ability right now from that running game is because of the running backs. They have their own issues from time to time too, but I wouldn't be shocked, Max, if you're on the right track and it comes to Seattle making some in-house moves if they don't make a trade for an offensive lineman. Noah, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. Appreciate you. Thank you for sending that in. Do you think we can make it all the way to the bowl game? Yeah. Yeah, I do, man. I don't know if you listened to Daniel Jeremiah, or if you haven't, go check out my video breaking down Daniel Jeremiah's comments. Right now, Seattle is a top 2 team in the NFC. I think if the playoffs started today, you're having the Seahawks in a rematch against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Your defense is playing lights out, especially at that defensive line. You're only going to get better. Why? Because your secondary is going to get healthier. And that offensive side of the football, Sam Darnold's the top 8 QB in the NFL right now. Jackson Smith-Njigba is a top 3 wide receiver, and he ain't 2, and he ain't 3. Cooper Kupp has been fantastic on third downs, getting you catches that you absolutely had to have. You have a very good crew in Seattle. And honestly, at this point, I don't see why you couldn't. Could injuries derail? Could weird bounces of the ball? Yeah, 100%. But do you have the ability to get there? Yeah. Yeah, you got the ability to get there. Seahawks, Jerry Rice. Good to have a Hall of Famer in the building. Good to have a Hall of Famer in the chat. That's what we do here at Seahawks Today. Will we see Witherspoon or Love on Monday Night Football? Hashtag Seahawks. We had breaking news at the time of the filming of this video, Jerry Rice, and I'm happy that you came in and asked that question because Devin Witherspoon, Riq Woolen, and Julian Love were out at practice this week. Huge, huge news for the boys. Does that mean that they play on Monday Night Football? I'm still not to the point where I'm going to come out and say, yeah, they're playing. No, they're not playing. But I would say this. I would say that they seem to be on track. They seem to be ready to go, to be out there, running around with the boys playing a little bit. You might finally see this secondary as close to 100% as they've been since the freaking preseason. That's huge. That's huge for a team that already has a great defensive line that's getting in the backfield, making big-time plays. I cannot wait. Cannot wait to see what this defense has cooked up if those guys are able to go. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. This is why you do, because as soon as that news broke, we got out a video ASAP. You do not want to miss any of those breaking news stories. I want to talk to you today about our good friends over at Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you can cash in. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Got a 2-pick power play here for you this weekend. Travis Kelce more than his listed rush plus receiving TDs. Jackson Smith-Njigba more than his listed rush plus receiving TDs. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Jay-Z Vids, what up, man? How you doing? The offense is explosive, but it has had some inconsistencies, especially in the 49ers game, and not being able to close the Jags game out for good. What are we missing? Right now, you're missing a rushing attack. Fair and simple. You've had games where it's shown up, and you've been clicking on all cylinders. I'm looking right at the Pittsburgh Steelers game. No offense to the New Orleans Saints. You were going to look awesome against them no matter what. And you saw a lot of that rushing attack pop up a little bit in some other instances. But you haven't had that rushing attack really stay there. You haven't had multiple big Kenneth Walker games. You haven't had multiple big Zach Charbonnet games. Frankly, you haven't had any big Zach Charbonnet games. But if this rushing attack can get going, that is going to open up everything for this offense as a whole. What's most important, I might mention as well, you haven't had your starting fullback the entire time. Remember how big of a deal in the preseason Robbie Oots was. Remember how big of a deal he was to this offense. He's been out. He's been on IR for the last couple of weeks. You're going to get him back here very soon. I would be interested to see how much he helps turn up this offense, gets this offense back rocking and rolling in that running game in the right way, in the way they need to be moving. Because remember, this is a mirrored offense. All the run plays are going to look like you should be able to pass out of them, and all the pass plays are going to look like you should be able to run out of them. Play action pass is going to be massive for the Seahawks. You need this rushing attack to get figured out. I think Robbie Oots can help with that. Tyler, what up, man? Good to see ya. Do you think everyone will be healthy after the bye? That latest tweet makes me feel pretty darn good, Tyler. Makes me feel pretty darn good. Look, there's some guys, Christian Haynes, I got no idea what's going on with him. Jonathan Hankins, you're not going to see him out here anytime soon. I feel like at this point it's just kind of wasted. Riley Mills is a weird case because he has the torn ACL. So it's really just about when is he able to ramp up and be able to go. Mike McDonald clearly thinks he'll be good to play with you guys. He'll be able to help you out. The question is, when does he come in and play? Yes, I think we'll be mostly healthy by the bye. But the guys that I just mentioned on there, they're probably not back yet. I can't remember if Robbie Oots is back after the bye or if it's going to take an extra week. But he should be back pretty quickly to that. I feel good with where Love, Witherspoon, and where Riq Woolen are at right now. I think you're going to get them back here pretty soon. Q, you finally figured it out. I love that, man. That's awesome. I appreciate you. It took you a little bit, but you're a genius. You figured it out. Appreciate you get your question on because we wanted to hear it on the show today. Riq needs to stay, but we need to put Spoon on the outside. So is your response here that you want Riq as a backup? Because I can get behind that. Darian Kendrick has been playing well when he's come in that smaller nickel role. But more importantly, holy cow, how well has Nick Eamon-Warry played. That kid is special. Darian Kendrick, we have here the cornerback lineup, has been awesome. When he's been in, he made some big plays for you. He's got some big turnovers for you. I like the addition of Darian Kendrick, especially since he was basically picked up off the scrap heap. But the guy that I like even more, because this is just the beginning, is the rookie sensation, Nick Eamon-Warry. He went out and he was tied for first on your team in tackles, had 9. He was making plays downhill. What impressed me the most, he had a tackle where he is lined up at a deep safety for you. He runs downhill so freaking fast that he meets Travis Etienne at the line of scrimmage. He's 12 yards deep. Reads run, says, yep, I got to go. He goes, makes a big-time hit on Etienne. He was all over him. This is a different play, but another good picture of what Eamon-Warry is able to do in space. Etienne doesn't get away from him here. You have a special, special player in Nick Eamon-Warry. And I think the most impressive thing with him is not only does he use that athleticism to get himself into places, but as he's getting older and seeing more and more reps, he is getting into the positions that he needs to be without relying on the athleticism because his brain is there. His football IQ is allowing him to be in the correct spot that he needs to be. He's moving downhill, but he's doing it ahead of time. I'm very impressed with Nick Eamon-Warry, and the more we can use him in that big nickel role, I just think the better it is for this defense. I'd be very impressed and very excited to see what he's able to do. I don't disagree with you, though. I would like to see Riq Woolen stay in Seattle, at least until the end of this season. Colin, who knew? The producer Colin finding a way onto the show. He's a big fan. He tunes in every single week. Did you like the Bill Barnwell Seahawks-Eagles trade? For those of you who do not know, that was Riq Woolen and a 2026 fifth-round pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Keely Ringo, he's a cornerback over there, and a fourth-round pick. That is a trade that I just do not see happening. The reasoning behind that trade is, well, the Eagles don't like Kelee Ringo, and the Seahawks don't like Riq Woolen, and they both need cornerback help. So if they trade away their bad corner, maybe the bad corner to change the scenery will be okay. I'm good. I'm good off that. If I'm going to make a trade for a corner with Riq Woolen, I'd rather have one of the guys like Rasul Douglas, or if we could get Roger McCreary, that'd be great. L'Jarius Sneed, a guy that I have an understanding of. Hey, they were good at one point. They were really good at one point. And with Roger McCreary, he's a younger guy, so he can continue to improve. This is just the beginning of what he is. I don't know that I want Kelee Ringo. I think I'm good. Raul Bryan, thank you. Glad I found this channel lately. Keep up the good work. Dude, I appreciate you. I love you. This is why we do it here at Seahawks Today. We're just trying to put out good content. And I'm glad you found the channel too, man. I'm glad you found the channel too. We're always going to be getting out the latest breaking news whenever we can for your Seattle Seahawks. Your Seahawks are taking on the Texans Monday Night Football. That's going to be tomorrow. We have a watch party, and we will be live here on Seahawks Today an hour before the game kicks off. So wherever you're at, figure out when the game is going to kick off. If you're not going to be at Lumen Field, you need to be here hanging out with us, watching the game, talking ball, and just having a good time rooting on our favorite Seattle Seahawks. Who you got in this matchup? You think the Seahawks are going to pull it out? I do. You're going to type C down below in the comments. You think the Texans are going to pull it out? You're going to text Hugh in the comments. If you do, gross. Don't do that. Type C in the comments. And of course, if you liked the channel, you liked the video, give us that thumbs up, smash the button, help us out. We really appreciate it here. And until next time, I'll see you later. Who you got? Julian, it's not tomorrow, but that video you just watched, you got to see a peek behind the curtain. It's going to go out on Sunday morning. So on Sunday morning, you'll see the video and you'll go, oh yeah, that's why Will said tomorrow. Benny, are you just mad because I came on to the Texans live and told you guys you were all going to lose and then did the L dance? I think that's why Benny's mad. I understand. That's okay. Seth, I love it, man. I love it, Seth. That's awesome. Let's see. I got a little bit of time. We can hang out a little bit if you guys would like. 144 likes. There's 78 of you hanging out with us. If you haven't liked it, you want to like it, let's get to 145. 145, that'd be pretty cool. 144, I just want one more. Really? Hey! That's awesome. Most liked stream that we've done on a Thursday, man. That's awesome. I love it. I appreciate every single one of you. Benny's a Seahawks fan. That's okay. Oh, okay. Well, Benny's a little afraid. Okay, hey, man. That's okay. I disagree. Friends can disagree.
I mean,
Friends can disagree.
It's going to be a good game. The Seahawks though, we are favored. They are favored. So, I don't know. I think right now the NFL is wide open. There's no one team where you're like, oh, definitely the best team in the NFL.
Yeah.
It was the Eagles. It was the Lions. Then it was the Packers also earlier in the year, and then now it's maybe the Chiefs. I'd throw the Seahawks up there, the Bucks.
Bucks might be the best team. Actually, the weird one that might be the best team? Colts.
Yeah, maybe the Colts, yeah. Colts. It's so weird right now. The NFL, people are like, oh, the AFC is wide open right now. I'm like, actually, the entire NFL is open.
100%. Greg, you're going to be at Lumen Field? Hey, if you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, you DM me a picture of you at the game, I'll put it on the show.
Benny, the only thing I will push back on, I think the Texans are a good team. Their defense is very good. Mm-hmm. The only thing I'll push back on is people are going to look at that Ravens game and be like, oh, C.J. Stroud's back. Mm-hmm. The Texans are back.
Yeah.
They played nobody. Yes, they still, but they had...
Everyone and their mother was hurt.
Everyone and their mother was hurt on the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
And, yes, it's tough to, be like, oh, everyone was hurt. Doesn't count.
Right.
Obviously, he did very well, played very well, but we can't forget about the games before that, where their offensive line can't stop a fly. And as good as CJ Stroud is, if you don't have time, you can't do anything.
100%. Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. We have 148 likes. What if we got to 150? That'd be pretty darn cool. That'd be pretty darn cool. I hope so. Ooh, Julian's got the facts. Julian's a real one, and he's a big football brain guy, big football IQ guy. Every time I see something from Julian, I'm like, ooh, it's a pretty good take. It's a pretty good take. You know what we just hit, Reed? 151 Rub! 151! Shout out, man. That's awesome. I love and I appreciate every single one of you guys. 152 likes. It's our most liked stream, and it isn't even close on a Thursday. I think the previous high was like 110. Maybe we got to 115. We blew it out of the park, man. You guys are the best. You guys are awesome. I love and I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you to producer Reed for coming in, hanging out with us. Had a good time. If you do not already, follow me over on X. Latest breaking Seahawks news. I got it rocking. I got it rolling. I'm firing it out. We will be back. We're going to have videos every single day, all the way up until Monday when your Seahawks take on the Houston Texans. We'll have a preview in the morning. And then more importantly, we're going to have our watch party an hour before the game. That's when we'll be live. Come in, hang out with us, have a good time. Can't be at Lumen Field. It's the best spot to be. Till next time, we'll see you later.